In this video, we'll write the balanced net ionic equation for NaCl plus AgC2H3O2, sodium chloride, and then silver acetate. This is the acetate ion. Sometimes you'll see this AgC2H3O2, the silver acetate, written like this. It's the same thing, just writing it with the positive ion first here, and then we have the Ag second here. We're going to go with this one, though. So let's balance the equation first. That's the first thing we do with net ionic equations. Turns out this is already balanced, the molecular equation. So we're done with that. For the states, let's look at solubility here. Sodium chloride. Sodium compounds are very soluble. Chloride compounds are very soluble. We write AQ for aqueous. It's dissolved in water, split apart. Acetate. Things with acetate in them, very soluble. Silver compounds often aren't soluble, but if you have this acetate, this is going to be soluble, dissociate into its ions. Here we have an acetate and a sodium. That is going to be soluble. And then here's a silver compound with a chloride. This is insoluble. Good one to remember, AgCl. That's going to be insoluble. We're going to call that a solid. So we have the states. Now we can split the strong electrolytes into their ions. This is the complete ionic equation. On the periodic table, sodium has a +1. Chlorine, that chloride ion, is negative. So we're going to write Na, and I won't write aqueous right now. Let's write that at the end. Plus, we have the chloride ion, Cl minus. And then silver, it's a transition metal, but it always forms these 1+ ions. And the acetate ion, this whole thing, good one to remember, the whole thing has a 1-. So we have Ag plus the acetate ions, C2H3O2. So these are the reactants in our net ionic equation. Let's do the products. We said plus, this whole thing is negative. We'll write Na plus, just like we had in the reactants, plus the acetate ion. And then in net ionic equations, we do not split solids apart. We keep them together. We're just going to call this AgCl. So this is the total or complete ionic equation. Now we cross out spectator ions. They're on both sides of that complete ionic equation. They haven't changed, so we're not really interested in them. I see sodium here, and then again in the products. I see the acetate ion here, in the reactants and in the products. I'm going to cross that out. What's left, that's our net ionic equation for NaCl plus AgC2H3O2. I'll clean this up and write the states in. We'll have our net ionic equation. So this is the net ionic equation for the sodium chloride plus silver acetate. You'll note that charge is conserved. We have a negative and a positive. That cancels out. That's neutral. We have a neutral product. And we have one silver atom and then one chlorine atom on both sides. Sometimes you'll see the positive ion put first in these net ionic equations. It doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. It looks a little bit nicer. So that's it. This is the net ionic equation for NaCl plus AgC2H3O2. Thanks for watching.